Hey everybody, this is Coin Week editor Charles Morgan. I want to try something a little bit new today. Hopefully it works out. I don't know until I do it. I want to go over some video footage I shot at Orlando in January when Paper Money Guarantee was processing selections from the Paper Money collection of Brent Pogue. Of course, we've covered in a few of these streams recently the coin collection of Brent Pogue, and his collection has been covered exhaustively by the numismatic press. He was a major collector, one of the most significant collectors of the 20th century and early 21st century, had a coin collection worth well over 130, 140 million dollars. Also, unbeknownst to a lot of people until after his passing, Brent Pogue was majorly interested in paper money and some modern coins. The major facet of the Brent Pogue family collection, which sold by Stax a few years ago, was 1792 to 1838. But this month, Stax Bowers has sold some more components of what Brent had in his holdings, including a great collection of Barber quarters, some Franklin half dollars, some Washington quarters, amazing Washington quarter collection, Eisenhower dollars, etc. Well, we've already covered that, but I have some footage that you maybe have never seen of the paper money grading process that is conducted at shows on occasion by PMG. I'm sure PCGS has a similar process that they follow. And so you're going to get to see how paper money is actually graded. And we're going to talk about how those lots did once they were graded and they were put up for auction. We're going to talk about it. Not a very long video today, folks. It took me a little bit of time to put this together for you. I have audio on this file, and what I'm going to do as I play it, I'm going to look at your comments. If you could kindly let me know if you cannot hear the music in the background. I'm going to do a voiceover as we talk, but I have a little interview segment at the end of the prepared footage from a PMG finalizer, and it won't do us much good to play it all the way through if you can't hear the audio. So I know we have about 7 or 8 people concurrently viewing this. If you could kindly say hi in the chat to let me know you're up for the responsibility of letting me know that you can hear the video, I would much appreciate it. So as soon as I get that first hi, we will begin. Anybody there? Are you able to chat? I'll put my first chat there. Anyway, it is Wednesday, March 25th, 2020. I hope you guys are having some time to yourself to enjoy your coin collection, your paper money collection. And I hope that you find the content that we're going to provide in this stream very helpful. So we'll see how it goes. So here we go. This is the Brent Pogue collection as graded by PMG. Now you see this note right here is a $10 note that sold for $168,000, and the sale had a $200,000 to $300,000 pre-sale estimate as pedigreed to C.H. Dalton, then to Alan Forbes, whose collection was sold by Stax in 1953. And this is rare, one of the 4 The inscriptions for the assistant quartermaster D.H. Dalton. They were hand signing these notes at the time, and as you can see, like, it got cumbersome, so the actual secretary of the treasury people were not there signing everybody's notes, so they had staffers do it. In the beginning they would write for the. So anyway, this is a PMG Pop 1 note with none finer. Next up here, this is lot 6059 that was sold. This is the finest graded 1874 $50 legal tender note. The series of 1874 featured new motifs. You have Old Ben Franklin there on the left side of the face, and on the right you have an allegorical representation of Columbia. I don't know, every time I see that portrait, I think of Queen Isabella, from the Queen Isabella quarter. And I love that federal eagle on the shield. It's such a great design detail. And anyway, this note sold for $78,000. Great note. So next up, they're grading one of two pieces that was from a lot. This was a proof plate. This is the face the 1880 $500 legal tender note. It features General Joseph K. Mansfield on the right, and Mansfield was killed in the Battle of Antietam. He suffered a bullet wound to the chest September 17, 1862, and he died the next day. His gallantry is marked by this note. And of course, on the opposite side, you have a bare-breasted effigy of Liberty standing beside a cannon and cannonball. They really liked their naked liberties back in the late 19th century, early 20th century. Here is a 1914 $5 red seal with a large post-production autograph by Treasury Secretary Bill Gibbs McAdoo. If you like the Federal Reserve System, think McAdoo, because he oversaw it, and also the implementation of the federal income tax during the presidential administration of Woodrow Wilson. So this is a complex period of American monetary history, certainly worthy of study and appreciation. And this note brought $6,600. And it's a pretty neat note to have if you just want a memento of this period. So folks, this is going to be the part I'm going to take a little second off. Hopefully you can hear what they're having to say. If you can't,
well, with these notes, it's they tell a big story through the history of numismatics and the people who have owned them. So every note that is a true rarity in the hobby will have passed through the hands of great collectors, you know, that are just namesakes in the entire industry. And it's a true pleasure to be able to, you know, go through these notes and put them in our holder to keep them preserved for future generations of collectors. These notes, you know, are invaluable. They're what you would call museum-worthy pieces, and they are in museums. The Smithsonian has examples of this very note, along with other high-denomination notes, which is just an amazing amount of money back when they circulated. It's the kind of bill that you would never see in public unless you were extremely wealthy, and it's just a true miracle of survival that these were not redeemed back then, because no one really cared about collecting currency. It was all collecting coins, and currency took a back seat, and it's become a much more exciting hobby in recent years with third-party grading helping out collectors buy things sight unseen, being able to put their faith in our company to help them be assured the note is real and appropriately graded.
So this note brought $216,000. I mean, how can we not feature it? And it features the portrait of New York Governor DeWitt Clinton. And dude's totally bringing his A game in that pose, you know. All I know is, when I get my A&A dealer badge, my next one, I'm going to cock my head to the right and do my little thoughtful pose, because that's just straight up like OG on that. Actually, it's interesting. Sachs Bowers had the good fortune of auctioning the paper money collection of Joel R. Anderson. He's like a media mogul. He owns Books A Million, one of the largest fireworks, retailers in America, and several other publishing businesses. And Anderson actually used to have that note that Pogue had. I think he upgraded it, and the one that he ended up with sold for over $1 million. But $216,000, that's a ton of money. And what a great piece of American numismatic history. So anyway, that wraps up, the Pogue collection of paper money and some footage we were able to capture. You know, all told, the auction brought big dollars. I think 230 lots. They averaged about $40,000 each. 27 of the notes brought six figures, realizing a total of $9.2 million over the course of the sale. So anyway, we're going to be back tomorrow with another great stream. I'm currently pegging out like some lists of things I think would be cool to talk about. And I think I'm going to go over, I got two things scheduled for you for this week. I'm going to cover what I think the 10 completely underrated designs of the U.S. commemorative coin period, 20th century commemoratives. And I'm going to go show off some swag, the kinds of stuff that you end up with whether you want it or not when you're in a position of being a numismatic journalist traveling the world and covering the hobby. I got interesting medals and sample things and all sorts of swag from some of the big events in the past few years that maybe you've never seen before. So I'll share some of those with you and give you some anecdotes about what my experiences were. And then we'll take some questions and answers after that. A little brief program. I'll try to bring my A game and make sure I'm able to intelligently answer your thoughtful queries. So anyway, for Coin Week, for the staff, Scott Purvis and Hubert Walker, I'd like to thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.